where are you on the research and the prep to a meeting so that you can be in present, but also curious?
Absolutely, you need to prepare because your buyers have done their homework. You need to do as much, if not slightly more homework on them than they have. If you think about the journey today, where so much of the buying journey happens before they ever talk to a salesperson, you have to make up that gap of knowledge in your preparation and in your research. And so for me, preparation looks like understanding the company. How, you can go to LinkedIn Navigator and Insights and you can create all kinds of information there. Doing a simple Google search on the company, doing a simple Google search on their industry. What are the latest trends that are happening? I do a lot of work with SaaS professional services and manufacturing. So when I go to the New York Times or the Wall Street Journal, those are the industries that I'm keen on learning more about. And I do that on a daily basis so that I'm not trying to cram it all in. I'm staying up to date on what the trends are already. So that when I'm talking to an individual company, my research can be, how is this affecting their company? What do I see on their website? What do I see on LinkedIn? For example, I'm looking at how many salespeople have been hired in the last 6 months. Where's the dip happening? And that could happen for a number of reasons. And then I'm doing research on each of the individuals. What is their education? What's their employment history? What interviews have they done and what stances are they taking on things? I look at, because I want to understand what their communication style is. I use Crystal Knowles for that, which is a cool tool ever. But it helps you to get a kind of a baseline of what's the style of this particular person. And then not just taking it for what that is and just saying, okay, well, Crystal Knowles says that they're this style, but actually testing it out through some of the conversations and questions that you have. Or my favorite thing to do is actually look at the recommendations that someone has made. What do they value in a person that they've recommended? Is it their attention to detail? Is it their ability to work within their team? Is it their creative insights? That gives me an idea and a sense of what this individual is going to value in a sales conversation as well. But again, not making the assumption, but creating a framework where I can operate with them to start testing it out when I'm in the conversation with them.
Yeah.
And I think the other thing is in order for you to be able to offer insights that they maybe didn't know or hadn't fully considered before, you have to do that research. Otherwise, you're just kind of going in and guessing. I cringe when I hear a sales call that starts with, so tell me more about your company.
That's the worst question, I think. That's the most I actually think that is the most insulting thing you can do at this point. Because there's so much information out there about businesses and my most valuable asset is time. So you're going to waste my time with asking something that you could have easily found out on my website. It's the same thing that I do when reps call me up and ask me for advice. Like those conversations either last I'll talk to anybody. I love mentoring young sales professionals but the conversations are either 3 minutes long or 30 minutes long. The 3 minute long ones go like this. So John, thanks for taking the time. I really appreciate it. Could you help me just understand how you got to where you are in your career today? It's like, have you ever seen a little product? There's a little product out there. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's called LinkedIn. I put my entire fucking work history on LinkedIn so we can skip this bullshit part of the conversation and move to the next step. So here's a tip for you. When you ask for somebody's time, respect it and get off the phone. And I literally hang up on them like 3 minutes in, because I do think that we all need to get punched in the mouth every once in a while to wake up to realize how embarrassing what we're doing is. It's happened to me multiple times in my career. And so that part right there of doing enough, but not too much to make assumptions, but enough to be curious is I think what that key balance is.